Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, January 3rd. The time is 3:36 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 3 degrees Celsius. And that was a 110B Islington southbound bus that I was just on. And this here is Islington Avenue, and that's a look to the north. There's a Cineplex Odeon movie theater with a lot of construction going on in the parking lot just to the south of here. And this street here is known as the Queensway. And for this one, I'll be walking east along the Queensway, as that store appears to be a bit of a relic from the past. And I'll be heading east to Park Lawn Road and then south down to Humber Bay Park. There's a grower's retail store. I last recorded through this area, I think in May of 2021. In fact, I think that's the only time I've ever made a video through here. This is on the city's west end. So I'm currently walking towards downtown, although obviously I won't get anywhere near as close as there. And it has started to rain. It's been kind of raining off and on lightly today so far. It's coming down a bit more now. It might be time to get the old umbrella out pretty soon. And most of the housing in this area is older single-family homes. Although in recent years along the Queensway, more and more condos have popped up. There's one going up just on the right there. There is no shortage of cannabis shops. It's kind of a neat building. There's some scaffolding up ahead. I think I might pull out my umbrella. Right when I find some cover here. There we go. Sorry about that janky camera work. I put my camera in my mouth while I was reaching for the umbrella. but the lens appears to be water drop free. Chaban Korean cuisine. And if I'm not mistaken, just across the street there is where the first ever Tim Hortons in the city of Toronto was located. I'm not sure if that's the original building that's been updated since, or if they knocked down the first one and rebuilt it, but there's still a Timmy's on that site. I think the chain started a few years earlier in the city of Hamilton. There's an interesting name for a shop. Well, it looks like a nail salon is moving in. So to the east of here, this does become Queen Street West, but that's not until Parkdale. And it is served by the 80 bus. There's some Tibetan momo. The Queensway was originally just a trail called Stock Side Road. And in the 1950s, just to the south of here, the Gardner Expressway went up. That's a major east-west highway along the south end of the city. And at that time, the Queensway was widened. And it was also stretched east into Parkdale and connected to Queen Street. It's a really neat setup. I don't think this little bend here, or I don't even know what you would call that, has its own street name. I think these homes' official address is just the Queensway. There's a condo plan for that side. So the area to the south of here is known as Mimico. This is in the former borough of Etobicoke, which was amalgamated into the city of Toronto back in '98. It's definitely got more of a suburban feel to it. And one thing that's really disappointing about this whole area is the lack of cycling infrastructure. And just transit in general. The bus along here isn't too frequent. south of here on Lakeshore, that is served by the 501 Queen streetcar, and to the north of here along Bloor is Line 2 of the subway system, and both of those go east-west. But the streetcar doesn't appear on the Queensway until after Park Lawn Road. At least they have a beer store. That's more than I can say about my neighborhood at Yonge and Eglinton. There's some businesses on that side of the street. This area as a whole has a rather disjointed feel to it. It's a parking lot in front of a No Frills. Tokyo Sushi, a hair salon, a print shop, a pharmacy that closed up, a Thai restaurant. So it's your usual assortment of retailers. To the north of Royal York Road here, up at Bloor, you'll find Royal York Station. Look at this, a miracle. There's a bike lane. Well, if you can call a painted line bicycle infrastructure. The Queensway General Store. I know it's a Tuesday afternoon and it's raining, but it's hard not to shake the feeling that this area is relatively deserted. I think that was the theme of the last video I recorded through here, but that was during the pandemic, and there were a lot of restrictions in place. I just don't think this area ever gets that busy, at least in terms of pedestrian traffic. Only in Canada, I guess. A little over half a dozen hockey pucks. And way off in the distance there are a lot of towers. And that's eventually what I'll be making my way over to. Meltwich food, that looks good. And a really old school Mr. Sub. back before Subway moved in and took over. Mr. Subs were everywhere. It looks like there's another condo going in on that side. Wedding cakes. I think yesterday was actually a holiday, but things should be back to normal today. There's a bubble tea shop. What is this sign trying to say? I think there should be a line through that bicycle. To the south of here, there's no bikes on the sidewalk. Posts are quite common in Long Branch. It's like a Greek restaurant. This is Burt Avenue. It's pretty typical of the residential streets you see around here. This place, Queensway Motel. Not too long ago, I was looking for the worst hotel in the city, and I couldn't even find room prices online for this place. Their website looks like it's out of the late 1990s. There's no way to book a room, there's just a phone number. If you go on their TripAdvisor, you'll see some hilariously bad reviews. There's a lot of stories of people checking in, finding their room is absolutely filthy, and not being offered a refund. And they won't show you your room before you pay, and they take a deposit they won't return if you leave. There's Tom's Dairy Freeze. I think that's a staple of this neighborhood. That is a huge restaurant. Yeah, if you're ever feeling the need for a good laugh, just pop in the Queensway Motel Toronto in the TripAdvisor. There's stories of needles and certain activities coming and going. Okay, well, we know you're not going straight. So where's your turn signal? This guy knows how to turn. So coming up, if I'm not mistaken, will be the Mimico Creek. And that feeds into Lake Ontario just a bit south of here. And I think you can trace it all the way north up to Malton, around Toronto Pearson Airport. Sometimes I pull my phone out and stealthily look these things up as I'm recording, but I've got to hold this umbrella with my left hand. Although, let's give this a rest. Feels like the rain has let up. And that's a look north. And all of these towers are a recent addition to the area. 20 years ago, you wouldn't really be seeing anything if you were looking off in that direction. It's amazing how many people just change lanes here. No indicating, they just go for it. Just once in my life, I want to see a car get pulled over for that. Nice residential area down there. So this is Park Lawn Road, so I'll be turning right just up here. I don't recall seeing any buses coming this way along this route so far. Oh, there's one. Alright, so let's head south down to the lake. There's not a whole lot to see along Queensway to the east of here. But when I think about 15 minutes, you find yourself alongside High Park. Just in on the left is the massive Ontario Food Terminal complex. And in there you'll find over 1.5 million square feet. That's the largest produce distribution center in the entire country. There's a Timmy's. One can only assume this car is broken down. It's not like there's a parking lot here or anything. As this lady just casually walks the sidewalk. Just winners all around in these parts. It's par for the course for Toronto drivers. And that's still the food terminal that extends south down to the Gardiner Expressway. We're at the point where I can't remember the last time we had a blue sky during the day. Whatever happened to stopping before the line on a red light? So that on-ramp will lead you to the westbound Gardiner. And in a few minutes, if you stay the course, you'll find yourself on the QEW in the city of Mississauga. And once upon a time, this area would often smell like freshly baked cookies. There's a Mr. Christie plant just off in that direction. And just south of here, where all these condos are lined up along Lakeshore, used to be a somewhat notorious motel strip. And that started to disappear in the early 2000s. As that land made its way, or rather, was better purposed as condos. Just in case the lens got fogged up or rained on. And look at this, how cute. There's some bicycle infrastructure along Park Lawn. Gee, thanks, city. that that makes people feel safe riding their bike on the street. This bus stop is an appropriately named Gardner Expressway ramp. That would be the 66 bus that heads out this way. There's a via train. Memory serves me correct, there'll be a supermarket coming up just up on the right. And there's a mural paying tribute to the old Seahorse Motel. Someone has unfortunately tagged. There's a GO train. There's an old Mr. Christie water tower, a remnant from the cookie plant. To the west of here along Lakeshore, there also used to be an old Goodyear tire manufacturing plant. That looks good. Chiang Mai Thai Kitchen and Bar. I wonder if they specialize in northern Thai food. It looks like there'll be condo developments right in those lands over there. So I think this area is a pretty good candidate for what has changed the most over the course of my lifetime in the city. It has sprouted its own rather impressive skyline. And if you're at the downtown waterfront and you look east, or rather to the west, it does look like a big city off in the distance. Sorry, my camera's jumping all over the place. But like most newer developments, it's clearly lacking in the charm and character of the older areas in the city. It's a Metro supermarket. So this straight ahead is Lakeshore Boulevard. That is served by the 501 Queen streetcar. That just east of here turns north up past a streetcar loop, and it jumps onto the Queensway and heads into downtown. That car really just went for it. And I think there are no streetcars running along the stretch. There's a bus. I think that's a 501 replacement bus. And welcome to Humber Bay Park East. So I think what I'll do is I'll find my way down to the lake and we'll wrap this up. And I've got my gear with me, so I might fire up a Tuesday late afternoon rainy live stream. Oh, they've got that area all blocked off. This road here runs along the south edge of a lot of condo projects. And this area features a pretty extensive butterfly habitat. And just east of here is the somewhat famous Humber Bay Arch Bridge. And I won't be getting that far, but I'll be heading that way on the live stream, so you can probably look that one up. On the left here is the Martin Goodman Trail. Or as per that sign, the Waterfront Recreational Trail. That's a multi-use trail. And that runs, for the most part, along Lake Ontario. Although through parts of Mimico and Long Branch and then into Mississauga, it'll take you along a bunch of residential streets, as unfortunately there are private access points to the waterfront that the public can't travel across. This is all part of the butterfly habitat. That looks to be a new one. Still hasn't had its retail moved in. That is the Dog Park Bistro. Looks like just a clever name for a pet accessory store. And there's a La Vecchia. There's one of those in Midtown. It's a pretty good Italian restaurant. All right, let's cut across to this trail. And one of the highlights of coming to this area is often the downtown skyline view that would be straight ahead. But due to all this fog, I can't see anything. It's the Humber Bay Arch Bridge, just off in the distance there, with the Palace Pier and Palace Place condos next to it. Just over there, normally you'd see the CN Tower and the Financial District skyscrapers. But that is just not in the cards for today. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this one, walking along the Queensway, starting at Islington and heading east along the Queensway to Park Lawn Road, and then south down to Humber Bay Park East. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you wish to support what I do. There's links to YouTube channel membership and Patreon down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and I have a TikTok account as well. And there's also a super thanks button appearing below these videos. Just throw my umbrella down. All right. Oh, the camera. Is it ever wet? It looks like... Hopefully it wasn't fogged up for a while, but thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink. Let's finish off with me not talking and a nice shot of the lake.